Hey guys, it's me Dax Moy back again with another in my What's Your Problem series, where members of my online community at daxmoy.ning.com get to ask me questions about their specific problems that they're currently facing in terms of health and fitness and what they're trying to accomplish. And I give them my tuppence worth. I tell them what I'm thinking about what may be holding them back. So today we've got Diane Guthrie, and Diane says, "Hi Dax, my problem's this. I have about 4 stone to lose. So 4 stone, that's about 56 pounds. That's about 21, 22 kilos. And I've been losing very slowly over the last couple of years. I'm a member of Weight Loss Resources, which gives me a food diary and an exercise diary where I can log all my food and exercise, and from my stats, they give me an amount of calories a day depending on how much I want to lose per week. At the moment, I'm on 2 pound loss rate per week, and that allows me 1,140 calories a day plus any exercise calories earned. I can eat those too. I'm not losing weight though. I'm menopausal, 49, and was wondering if that's having an effect on my weight loss attempts. Although I haven't been losing any huge amounts for a very long time. I try to eat as cleanly as possible and have protein at lunch and dinner. I also exercise regularly, running and walking mainly, although I haven't done much resistance work for over a year due to a shoulder injury. I want to be fit and fab for my big 5-0 next April, but I'm not losing hope. Sorry, but I'm losing hope. Help. Okay, right, so Diane, couple of things kind of jump to mind. The very first thing that really kind of stands out at me is this idea of the... we spoke about this in another video, metric obsession. Okay, the idea of, you know, having to lose at a rate of £2 per week, and having the numbers tell you that you're allowed 1,140 calories per day. Blah 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 blah. Okay, the truth of the matter is we have absolutely no blinking clue whether your body needs 1,140, whether it needs 2,000, we've got no clue, right? Because it's all dependent upon the chemical makeup within your body at this particular moment in time. If your thyroid is low, you might need less. If your adrenals are high, you might need more. There's so many different aspects to trying to figure out the calorie count that to even begin following these calories is a bit of a farce. It's likely to lead you to run your body into the ground. Okay, because here's the thing: when you start to calorie chase, very often you start to restrict very vital nutrients that are required for actually getting your body working the way it's supposed to. And particularly, you know, if you've said here that you're menopausal, you're 49 years old, you're menopausal, and you're wondering whether that's going to have an effect on your weight loss attempts. Oh, absolutely, it will absolutely have an effect. You are not just you. We are a chemical soup. Okay, and that chemical soup is made up of every single hormone within your body, and all of those hormones combine to tell each part of your system, from your digestive to your reproductive to your, you know, kind of your excretory system to everything, your circulatory system. It tells every single thing what to do, when to do it, and how much energy it's going to cost to do those things. So that when you go through menopause and your estrogen balance changes, you then have a very, very different chemical soup. Okay, and this is natural. This is one of the natural parts. It's a bit of a pain in the butt if you haven't got your weight management sorted before menopause, but it's very, very natural in that as you switch across from making your estrogen in your ovaries, you are left with the primary estrogen factories in your fat. Okay, so the biggest role of creating estrogen for your body now goes to every single one of your fat cells is a factory that is making estrogen for you. Okay, it's a much weaker version, so your body tries to hold on to fat as much as it can, because in giving up each one of these fat cells, it loses an estrogen factory. So hopefully that makes sense. So you are at a slight disadvantage once you hit the menopause, because not only are you trying to burn the fat, which is the actual fuel, you're also trying to get rid of, or you're trying to reduce the capacity for the fat cell itself to help you out on the estrogen side of things, right? But have no fear, it's not kind of, you're not onto a losing battle here, right? There's a lot that you can do, but one of the first things I would do is I would stop having you count calories, and I would simply eat good clean food. And it sounds like, you know, if I have a look here, it says you're eating as cleanly as possible. Well, I wonder what as cleanly as possible means. I mean, are you actually eating cleanly, right? And that's kind of thing number one. And just to kind of put you on the spot, and just to just to get talking plain English, which I don't think enough people do, are you bullshitting yourself? Okay, are you kind of telling yourself that you're eating as clean as you possibly can, and you're not? Are there things that are in your diet that aren't as clean as they could be? Well, if so, those are the first things to take care of. Okay, try 1 month of being as clean as you possibly can. Right, as clean as you possibly can. Not as, not as clean as you kind of feel like it, or as clean as seems to fit into your lifestyle, but be as clean as you possibly can. One of the things that really works for rebooting the hormonal system and getting it doing what it's supposed to do is making sure that there are no kind of no negative factors entering your body in terms of nutrition, right? So make sure that you get rid of all the crap. That's number one. I'm not saying that you're not, because I've never met you. I don't know what your diet is like, but just want to make sure that you're telling yourself the truth about your diet. If you haven't gone completely ED compliant, if you're not kind of following every single step, then follow all the steps. It's only 30 days. 30 days are going to pass anyway, right? So commit to 30 days. Don't weigh and measure your food. Don't count calories. Just relax. And again, what I generally tend to find is that those people that generally tend to be following all the steps of weighing and measuring their calories and all the rest of it are also the people that are getting quite uptight, quite concerned about the rate of their loss. And God, it's not happening. Now, here's the thing. When you're getting stressed, when you're getting a bit kind of annoyed that the weight loss isn't fast enough, your cortisol levels start to rise. Okay, and as your cortisol levels start to rise, in the short term, you have a kind of a little peak in calorie burning, which sounds really good. But the long term effect is that actually you become much more efficient at holding on to those fat calories. Okay, so you don't release them. What you also do is start to tip your hormonal balance all over the place, because as cortisol goes up, your testosterone goes down. As your natural testosterone goes down, your estrogen goes up, and you've already got all these kind of various problems going on with your hormonal system, right? So let's just get you very clean, get you very relaxed around your nutrition. Okay, when I say relaxed, I mean as in not getting caught up about it, not getting really into your head about the nutrition, about weighing and measuring and all the rest of it, and just being absolutely certain that what you're eating is really good quality food, that it's very clean, cleanly prepared, cleanly sourced, and everything else. I would also consider eating probably a little bit more than you've been eating. Okay, so here's the thing: making sure that you're fully satiated from your meals, right? No, you don't feel hungry. And in fact, if you're spending much of your day feeling overly hungry at the moment, that might be one of the reasons why your body's kind of not letting go. That said, hunger isn't a thing to be afraid of. Okay, so you should be a little bit hungry before your meal. Okay, so don't work around the clock. Don't say I'm supposed to eat at this time and this time and this time. Instead, eat when you're fully satiated. Stop, let yourself get hungry, let yourself get past hunger, right? So I'm not talking about ravenous, but let yourself get into the hunger, okay? And then feed yourself in that position. Don't feed yourself on top of not being particularly hungry. That doesn't really make sense. Also, it might be worth you thinking about skipping your morning meal. There's people always talk about this kind of eat breakfast like a king, kind of lunch like a prince and dinner like a pauper. I would actually say to do it the other way around, and if possible, maybe even skip breakfast and have a bigger lunch and a bigger dinner. Okay, and make dinner your biggest meal. And this is going to sound really odd, right? Because it goes contrary to what everybody else is saying. But there's nothing wrong with eating a big meal at the end of the day. In fact, what that big meal can actually do is start sending you into your kind of downward curve for the evening, so that your energy starts to drop. After we eat meals, our energy drops a little bit, and we go into what's called the parasympathetic side of the nervous system. And as we go into that parasympathetic side, we're actually putting ourselves into a positive place in terms of hormones, the whole rest and digest side of things, right? Have a bigger meal in the evening than you're currently used to. So I would probably, if you were my client, I'd probably be advising you to eat twice a day. Right, lunch and dinner. Eat a fairly decent dinner. If you needed a snack during the day, then have a snack. But the truth is, if you eat a decent sized meal at lunch and dinner, you're probably going to be doing quite well anyway. Don't weigh it. Don't measure it. Give yourself a really good portions of food. In terms of the training side of stuff, it says I eat as cleanly as possible with a protein drink at lunch and dinner. Right, ditch the protein drinks unless you're going for very high quality ones, such as the only ones I would recommend would be Sun Warrior or Warrior kind of protein. Those two are the only brands that I really recommend. The rest of them are absolutely full of crap and chemicals and all sorts of stuff. Right, don't take them; they're absolutely useless. If you're hungry, eat real food, and that's it. Right, just eat real food. It says you've been exercising regularly, running and walking mainly, though you haven't done much resistance work for over a year due to a shoulder injury. Right, well, so here's something. Get the shoulder injury fixed. Right, see someone who can help you get that shoulder injury fixed, and then start getting back to your resistance work. Right, unless it's a really bad traumatic injury, there are going to be some resistance exercises that you can probably do at the moment. Right, find someone to help you devise a program around rehabbing your shoulder, but around getting you to do whatever resistance work you can possibly do. Because here's the thing, the resistance work is what's going to get you losing that weight. It's not going to be all that running. It's not going to be, you know, kind of running and walking. They're not really going to help at this stage, right? The biggest thing to remember about training is that there's no progress without progression. What that means is that unless you're training harder than you were last night, like if today I lift 20 pounds 5 times, then in order for me to actually progress, tomorrow I need to lift 20 pounds 6 times or 21 pounds 5 times, right? There needs to be a progression built into it. Just going out and doing the same run time and time again, or going and doing the same walk time and time again, is not only not helping you, but it actually may be pushing the wrong hormones into your system that is actually encouraging your body to actually hold on to fat, right? So here's what I would do. I would reduce the amount of cardio specific work you're doing, get into performing kind of resistance based circuits, body weight based circuits, but of course listen to that injury, but go and find someone who can help you fix it. Don't, you know, if you're serious about dropping this 4 stone, then also get serious about getting your shoulder fixed up. Okay, go and speak to someone who may be able to help you. Talk to someone who can actually give you the right exercises to get the shoulder fixed, right exercises, the right stretches, and then get back into your resistance-based training. And you know, I pretty much guarantee you'll start to drop that weight. 50 next April, you'll have easily lost that 4 stone by next April if you do the things I've just mentioned. If you don't, then you're probably gonna continue to struggle. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Diane, and thanks very much for listening to another set of Dax Moy Mad Ramblings. Speak to you soon.